Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video, we're gonna revisit Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Most people know him as Bobby Kennedy, and he's been an environmental hero for decades, allegedly, even though the world is unaware that Bobby has been refusing to give the world the light years best environmental education and agenda since '98. But that is a fact. That is an absolute fact. And Bobby knows it. His brother Joe knows it. That there is no getting around it. Um, so, but what did Bobby do recently? He went out and this just came across my YouTube feed. Now this was 8 days ago. Today is January 8th, 2023. This was put out by Daystar. This just came across my feed, so I watched it. And now here's the end of this. Bobby just basically talked. They really didn't even say much to him. It wasn't really an interview. Bobby just talked about growing up in his family.
So I think you definitely got some of that passion from your dad. What do you?
Okay, now the thing about that is, I've reminded Bobby a lot of times that, his father did the right thing because it was the right thing to do. And that's what Bobby had just been discussing before this statement here. But Bobby Kennedy has not done the right thing environmentally since November '98. Bobby Kennedy, no Kennedy, has done the right thing since November '98. They have not been what the Kennedys are supposed to be.
You see happening in the days ahead for Robert Kennedy Jr.?
Just listen, I wake up every day and say, reporting for duty, sir. And, I wait for my purpose to kind of be revealed.
Yeah.
I try to keep doing the next right thing. And, right now that means fighting against to being at the forefront of a bunch of fights for the environment, for public health and others. And, hopefully I'll be effective at those.
Okay, except Bobby has refused to be effective at those since November '98. And the problem with that is, the world suffers. We are now at tyranny from global elites based on we don't have environmental solutions. Okay, and now when you come here, this is the Children's Health Defense, which he is, all about. His book, The Real Anthony Fauci here, and they're all about helping kids in health and everything. Now, when you come down here, there's too many sick kids. They're exposing the causes. The way you get democracy to function is by informing the public. Yet Bobby the public needs to be informed about Bobby because Bobby has refused to inform the public that there are environmental solutions. Yet there's so many sick kids, and right here, the known culprits, okay, when we scroll down them, now they used to have it as a list out onto the side, had it numbered, but now, here we go, the known culprits, number 4, climate change, 6, 9, 12. Where's vaccines? Number 14. And where is all of Bobby's focus and energy? Down here on number 14. But what did Bobby just say up here in this interview?
For my purpose to kind of be revealed.
Yeah.
I try to keep doing the next right thing. And, right now that means fighting against to being at the forefront of a bunch of fights for the environment, for public health and others. And, hopefully I'll be effective at those.
Okay. And you know what? Bobby is effective at things if he actually goes out and does it. But Bobby, for the environment, has been absolutely nowhere to be found since '98. Yeah, okay, right here on his Facebook page. wait a sec, maybe it's his Twitter page. It mentions the Waterkeepers Association. Let's go to Bobby's page here. Yes. Oh yeah, right here. Founder of the Waterkeeper Alliance, and served as a longtime chairman and attorney for the NRDC. And the NRDC has been refusing solutions since November '93. And Bobby was their attorney for a long time during that. And trust me, in many of my correspondence, I reminded them of that and told them to get this to Bobby. But is Bobby going to expose any of this, inform the public, as he said we must do? Right here. Yep, we must inform the public. But if Bobby informed the public, he'd be at this point in time turning himself in, turning in Gore, his buddy. Gore, buddies with the Kennedys. Joe, when I met Joe in '98, who got my work to Al Gore when I was just, had gotten, but stop bothering us, messages from Gore's subordinates. Joe was like, I'm buddies with him. I'm like, of course you are. You're a Kennedy. They're still buddies. And they're still keeping Gore's secret, and they're still keeping Bobby Kennedy's secret. Even though, on the known culprits list, that's right up at the top, is that we don't have environmental solutions. Okay? So, I texted Bob. No, I didn't. I tweeted to Bobby. Bobby, I just heard you on Daystar saying you want your future to do environmental good. Well, then stop preventing the light years best environmental solutions since you have since '98. You know what I'm talking about, Eileen. And believe me, Bobby Kennedy knows what I'm talking about. And I also now right here, okay, on the contact form for the Children's Health Defense, they actually have a number here, and they say call or text. So I texted this number, and I said, get this to Bobby. Bobby just heard you on Daystar. Say you expect your future will have you doing good things for the environment. That'd be great. And decades too late, you've been refusing the light years best environmental solutions since '98, when Joe should have gotten them to you, and a veiled red jacket prevented you from getting on chair 3 with me. If you've been around here before and seen Bobby's articles, Bobby, one time he was in a celebrity ski race. I mean, I didn't go to it. It was down at the Gold Peak portion of the mountain, and I don't go to those things, but for some reason, I very rarely ever rode chair 3, and I was going into chair 3. I was going over to the Lion's Head base of Vale, and you take chair 3 to get over there, and there was just these two guys standing in the other side of the maze. There was nobody in lift line. It was a red jacket and this guy, and they were just standing there, and I came skiing in, and they weren't going, so I just moved towards the chair, and not the red jacket, but the other guy moved forward, and he was going to get on the chairlift with me. And the red jacket, Vale's top management, who skis in red jackets, put his arm out in front of this guy, and it was Bobby. Okay, and then they called behind me 3 times. They were on the chair behind me. They called out, Eileen, Eileen, Eileen. Finally, on the 3rd time, I turned around and I was like, what? And they were like, what, huh? I'm like, you didn't just call my name 3 times? And they were like, no, what, huh? No, we didn't. I said, what are you guys, in 3rd grade? And then I just turned around and I skied off at the top of the chairlift, but I said, I know you remember. Bobby absolutely remembers that. There is no doubt about it. I said, Children's Health Defense has been refusing the real environmental leadership for some time now, decades too late. It's when Joe should have gotten them to you, and when a veiled red jacket prevented you from getting on chair 3 with me. I know you've been refusing them. Real environmental leadership. Oh, for sometimes decades too late. Finally, time you finally did the right thing, environmentaleducator.org. And so I texted that to Children's Health Defense today, January 8th. And now, right now, I'm also going to send this message and we're going to call them too. Okay, so that's not my phone number there. I just put that there. I said, get this to Bobby. Children's Health Defense needs to act 911 style 2. And then I just come down here and I say, get this to Bobby. Bobby, I just saw the Daystar chat you had where you said you expect your future will have you doing environmental good. Well, that'd be decades too late, but as I've told your environmental fraud buddy Gore for decades, the best we can do is start today, stop preventing the light years best environmental education and agenda the world needs that would have solved our global environmental problems decades ago, had any environmental voice, including you, allowed solutions since November 93. You, Bobby, have been preventing the environmental betterment you proclaim yourself a god to since 98, when Joe should have gotten this to you. Then remember 98, 99, or 2000 when a veiled red jacket prevented you from getting on chair 3 with me, but you two acted like third graders, calling my name 3 times. And when I finally responded to you, after you called my name 3 times, you pretended you didn't say my name to get me to turn around. I know you remember that, Bobby. I know he does. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind he remembers that. Bobby, it is decades of complete devastation and death that you could have prevented but didn't. Decades of damage to kids' health that you refuse to prevent. It's decades too late, but the best we can do is start today. So, Bobby, finally get the light years best environmental education and agenda the world needs to the world. I'm available to get to work immediately. I should put my name in here too. Okay. Yeah, just put Eileen. That's good enough. Trust me, Bobby knows exactly who I am. We will submit this. And it looks like it went through. And now what we're going to do is we're going to call Bobby.
Thank you for calling Children's Health Defense. If you are calling internationally, we ask that you use contact them on our website, childrenshealthdefense.org. The contact form link is at the bottom of every page on the site. You will receive a faster response by completing the contact form or by sending a text message. If you leave a message, please be sure to speak slowly and clearly. Include your first and last name, telephone number with area code, email address, and why you are calling. Thank you for reaching out to us.
Hey, Children's Health Defense. This is Eileen Connors, the environmental educator, calling for Bobby Kennedy and you. Bobby has been refusing the light years best environmental education and agenda since 98. Bobby knows it. Bobby is well aware of it. And yet, number 4 on your list of known culprits to children's health problems is climate change and not having environmental solutions. And Bobby just had the audacity to go out on a Daystar little chat he had here that was put out the beginning of January 2023, and said that, he's going to go out and fight the fights for the environment, and hopefully he's going to be effective at those things, if only Bobby would. The reason, number 4, climate change remains on your list is because Bobby and all other fraudulent environmental voices have prevented the light years best environmental education and agenda the world needs since November 93. Bobby, absolutely since 98. And Bobby knows it. Bobby's aware of it. It is long overdue for Bobby to step up and finally do the right thing. I just sent you a message on your website. I texted you this message right here. Those other messages are part of my video about what a global environmental fraud Bobby is. and that Bobby needs to finally stop that. And Children's Health Defense too, because you have also been refusing the solutions for a long time since I've been contacting you. I'm not exactly sure when that happened, but it's been a while now. You probably know who I am too. Eileen Connors, the environmental educator. You have my contact information. My phone number on your contact form isn't correct because I don't put that out to the public. You have it from my texts, and you have my email, environmentaleducator@yahoo.com. I'm available to get to work immediately. If only Bobby would stop being a fraud and a global eco-terrorist. And yes, not preventing terrorism is terrorism according to US law. And when Bobby is out there saying all of these horrible things are going to happen because we don't have environmental solutions, the solutions Bobby's been preventing, and horrible things are happening because Bobby has been preventing solutions. All it takes is one person. If Bobby stood up, these solutions would get implemented. Bobby is responsible for this. He is responsible for the children's health problems for not having environmental solutions. So Bobby really needs to step up to the plate and get you on board too and change that. He needs to do the right thing now. Will he? Not until Project Veritas exposes him, and I have to take Project Veritas to court to get that to happen. Would Bobby like to help in that lawsuit? Would he? Would he like to help? Hey, Project Veritas, please expose me. Otherwise, I'll never do anything because I'm not going to do anything because if I did, I'd expose my buddy Gore. Okay? So I'm available to get to work immediately. So that is that. And that's interesting because I'm no longer on that call. I don't know how much of it went through, but I'm no longer on that call.
.org.
Okay, so I'm calling back.
The contact form link is at the bottom of every page on the site. You will receive a
I'm going to
faster
spare you the
response
message.
by
Okay, we're getting to the end of it.
and why you were calling. Thank you for reaching out to us.
Okay, Children's Health Defense. This is Eileen Connors, the environmental educator. Somewhere on my last call, it got disconnected because all of a sudden I was still just talking, but you weren't here. But Bobby's been preventing the light years best environmental education and agenda the world needs since November 93, since 98. All environmental voices since 93. Bobby's well aware of it. I sent you a text today. I sent you an email on your web form, environmentaleducator.org, environmentaleducator@yahoo.com. Watch the video I'm putting out today, Environmental Educator, on YouTube. BitChute. It'll get put out midday today. The first message, if it didn't go through to you, is out there on the recording, as is this message. So please listen to that and have Bobby stop being a fraud. Bobby is very much responsible for all of the children's health problems that happen because we don't have environmental solutions. And Bobby has to get over the fact that exposing him, him going out and giving the world solutions will expose Gore. It will also expose him at this point in time. And, Bobby went out and did a Daystar interview here. It was loaded up the beginning of January 2023. And he said, hopefully he'll be effective at, going out and fighting the environmental fight. And, when Bobby's going to actually get up and do something? When Project Veritas finally exposes them. And I have to take Project Veritas to court to get them to expose people. Would Bobby like to help with that lawsuit? Would he? That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. So in the meantime, I'm got to get some time to start working on that myself. But imagine Bobby on that lawsuit. Or Bobby could just cut to the chase and finally stop preventing the solutions. He pretends to be a hero, giving the world that he hasn't. And you too, Children's Health Defense, you are no hero either. So I'm available to get to work immediately. So I'm still on this call. I'm not sure when they're going to kick me out, but that's pretty much the end of this video here, people. Please stay tuned, and we just always know that Bobby Kennedy is certainly not the hero that Bobby Kennedy proclaims he is. Stay tuned.